name is Sumere Inagaki. I am a 26-year-old office worker. This is a story from when I was a student. It all began with a betrayal by a friend of mine that turned into an epic tale of love and revenge. The trigger of the story is when I was invited to my friend's wedding. The person who invited me was a woman named Tomoko Akiba, who I used to be in the same after-school club with in college. At that time, we were pretty close friends, but ever since we graduated, we've had absolutely no relationship. Even some of our classmates who attended the wedding said to me, "Wow, I can't believe you're actually here. Are you sure you're okay? I'm surprised that she even invited you, but don't you think it would have been better if you were absent?" I thought about it, but that also felt like I would be running away or backing down, which I didn't want to do either. Their reaction was valid too. That's because Tomoko and I had a rift between us that was so big it probably never would have healed within our lifetime. The story begins when we were in college. At that time, Tomoko and I were good girlfriends, just two normal college girls who got along well. And at that time, I also had a boyfriend named Tatsumo, who was only 1 year older than us. He was a handsome guy, good-looking enough to participate in the college pageant, and he had already received an employment offer from a major company. He was something like a campus star. Because of that, I had a lot of rivals fighting for him, but I played the long game and eventually won the crown of becoming his girlfriend. Everyone around me was jealous, and I was proud that he was my boyfriend. We were dating pretty seriously, and I had even begun thinking about marriage. However, hey, what is this all about? What are you talking about? Earlier, Tatsumo said he wanted to break up with me. Oh, is that so? I'm sorry to hear that. You can stop pretending like you're innocent. He already told me that he was breaking up with me to date you, Tomoka. No way, he already told you that? Well, I guess that honesty is a part of what makes him so great. How could you do this? I thought we were friends. Yes, of course we're friends. Then why would you do something so awful to me? He told me that you were the one that confessed your feelings to him and that you're the one that's been pursuing a relationship. Well, yes, I did feel a little guilty about it, but I couldn't help it. I like Tatsumo, and he told me that he feels the same way about me, so... Even though he's your friend's boyfriend? It's not like you guys were married. You weren't engaged or anything. That's not the point. We were together. He was my boyfriend. It's your fault for being naive. You should know that relationships are a game where the winner takes all. Especially when you have such an exceptional property like Tatsumo. There were hordes of other women that were after him too, you know. You got too comfortable as his girlfriend and didn't put up any defenses, so you only have yourself to blame. You're the one that went behind my back and stole my boyfriend, and yet you're saying this is my fault? Listen, it's not like I tricked him or forced him into becoming mine. I just approached him honestly and fairly, and now we both like each other. It just so happens to be that you were the unfortunate person that I took him from. Whatever, I'm done here. Don't ever try to speak to me ever again. Isn't that a shame, since we were such good friends? You have some nerve saying that. Friends don't do that to each other. Goodbye. That's right. This girl Tomoka, who was supposed to be my friend, shamelessly stole my beloved boyfriend. She was right that I had a lot of rivals with so many girls after him. But Tatsumo was an honest and good guy who would never cheat on me, and yet she was able to snag him, which can only mean that she must have used her body. I don't know how she was able to get that far. But Tatsumo was just as guilty for stomping all over my feelings and throwing them away like that. To be honest, my heart was broken, but my feelings for Tatsumo were immediately dissipated with this incident. So if Tomoko had apologized sincerely to me then, I may have been able to forgive her. But more than anything, I couldn't stand her attitude. And this was how the definitive feud was born between us. Ever since then, neither of us had said a word to each other. Of course, I had cut off all communication with Tatsumo as well. And yet, the friend's wedding that I had been invited to this time was Tomoko and Tatsumo's wedding ceremony. I'm sure no one was expecting me to attend, but I was also shocked to receive an invitation in the first place. It could only be uncomfortable for them as well to have me there. Even throughout the ceremony, I caught Tatsumo awkwardly glancing over at me from time to time with a worried look on his face. I can only guess that the one who invited me was Tomoka, but I couldn't figure out the reason why. It came time for the bride and groom to make their rounds during the reception, and so they reached our table. nice of you to attend. I'm so happy to see you. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, same to you. You know, I guess I'm sorry. Looks like I ended up taking Tatsumo all the way to the altar with me. It's almost as if we're proven that I was a better match for Tatsumo in the end. You're right. I guess it wasn't meant to be after all, and I never would have been good enough. Ever since he started his job, he's exceeded expectations and is the ace of the sales department at his company. Everyone knows he'll be promoted soon and he'll be successful. Well, isn't that amazing? Congratulations! It was clear that she only invited me to the wedding because she wanted to prove her point, that she was better than me. I could only imagine that from the moment she started going after Tatsumo, all she ever wanted to do was prove that she was better than me. But since I had blocked her on all accounts, she probably thought that she could invite me to the wedding to show off to me. The invitation was also sent to my parents' house. That insistence to prove a point, I was almost impressed by her tenacity. What I couldn't figure out was why she held such a grudge against me. Even after that, she kept talking to me and boasting about whatever she could, but she must have noticed that I wasn't bothered at all, and a bothered frown spread across her face. And to be honest, it was my true feelings, that I didn't have an ounce of jealousy or regret towards them. That must have translated to Tomoka because she stood there looking disappointed at my reaction. Anyway, despite the whole interaction, the ceremony ended without any troubles. But at the after party...
Hey, Sumire! Thank you for coming today. I know it's a little late, but I really wanted to apologize to you about that time. I'm sure you don't even want to see my face at this point, but...
From the groom Tatsumo, I received what felt like a sincere and heartfelt apology. Oh, don't worry, it's all in the past, and it doesn't bother me anymore. As long as you're happy, I'm happy for you.
Sumire...
Of course. When we first broke up, I had very different thoughts and feelings, but the two of them got all the way to marriage, so there was nothing more I could say to them. But there was one more thing that I just had to ask him. But look, just tell me one thing. Why did you decide to date Sumire, even though we were already together?
That's because back then, Tomoka seemed really attractive to me. She was assertive, and for someone like me who was so indecisive all the time, I felt like she was able to pull me in the right direction. And also, she was an outdoorsy type, and she would take me to all of these different places. Everything felt new and exciting at the time, I guess.
I see.
It's not that I stopped liking you or anything like that. It was just that I couldn't lie to myself about my feelings anymore. I really did the worst possible thing, and I truly am sorry.
When I heard this in his own words, I was actually surprised to realize that Tomoka wasn't lying when she said she approached him honestly and fairly. That's because all this time I had assumed that she must have fed him alcohol and taken advantage of him or something like that. But the more I thought about it, Tatsumo was never the type to be okay with people being so loose about their bodies like that. And I was happy to know that the two of them were genuinely a good match. Simple as that. I'm just glad I was able to ask you that. I mean it. Congratulations! The ceremony was beautiful. In this way, I was able to confront my feelings from the past and clear any confusion I had left. And then, 6 months after the wedding, I got a message like this from Tomoka. Hey, I heard a little rumor through the grapevine that you're getting married too. Is that true? Yeah, that's right. Well, congratulations on that. And I heard that your partner is quite the catch with high specs. I guess you could say that. So, what's he like? Well, you could say he's the son of a president of a company. He's about 4 years older than us, and his name is Naoyuki. Do you have any photos of him? Wow, he's actually pretty handsome. Well, although nothing compared to my husband, of course. I guess not. When you came to my wedding, were you already engaged at that point? Not yet, but it wasn't long after. By that time, we had both already talked about it, so it was only a matter of time before he proposed. That explains why you were in such a good mood. I mean, everyone was surprised you show up to our wedding at all, so who cares? Why do you care so much? Why not? I'm just interested in my friend's happiness, that's all. You're going to have a wedding, right? We're planning on having one, maybe in about 6 months or so. Well then, I'm looking forward to getting the invitation. Are you sure? Well, of course. I mean, you were so kind as to come to our wedding, so we'll be in attendance as husband and wife. Or is there a reason why you would rather not have us there? No, it's not like that at all. Well then, please do invite us, okay? Alright, sure. I'll send it to your new address. Thanks. I'm already so excited. I can't wait. That's right. At that time, I had already had a partner of my own. Just as explained to Tomoka in the messages, his name was Naoyuki Sato, and he was a gentleman 4 years older than me. He's the son of the president of a major company, and he is currently in charge of one of their branches. For what it's worth, he's not the boom boom money rich spoiled type. He went to business schools overseas, and while he was in school, he started his own business and worked hard to make it successful on his own. His parents ended up buying that business, and now he's helping them to expand their businesses across industries and build an empire. The company he's responsible for right now was on the verge of bankruptcy, but he was able to turn it around, and with the internal and external changes he made were highly rated. He has gained a strong reputation within his industry and has been marked as an outstanding businessman already. I actually have my own company as well, and that's how he and I first met. I was so angry when Tatsumo was stolen from me back in college that I vowed to become rich and get my revenge, to eventually start my own company and become a female CEO, and I was so driven by rage that it ended up becoming a reality. Youth and heartbreak are a scary energy bank. We were both extremely busy as individuals, but I had a feeling that we were both interested in each other, and he eventually asked me out to dinner. We struggled to squeeze in dates and much time together in general. But after 2.5 years of dating, we're not engaged.
I'm sorry I made you wait so long. Let's make tomorrow the best wedding ever.
Don't be silly. I knew you were taking me seriously and that we would get here eventually, so I wasn't in a rush. I'm also excited for tomorrow. I know it's going to be the best day of our lives so far, and the start of an amazing chapter. And so, the day of the wedding arrived. Since Tomoko insisted, I did end up sending her and Tatsumo an invitation. And there she was in attendance. She had clearly put a lot of time and effort into her appearance that day, and she stood out like a sore thumb amongst the wedding guests. I could tell that she came with the intention of trying to outshine the bride and the groom, but at the very least, she didn't come dressed in white. So she was still obeying the bare minimum of wedding manners, and I let it go. When it came time for the reception, she approached our table. Sumire, congratulations on getting married! And wow, what an amazing wedding! I can really tell that you're going to be a president's housewife. Sure, thanks. She congratulated us in a kind manner, and I didn't think much about it, but I soon found out that I was being naive, once again. Even so, you've always liked good-looking guys with money, haven't you? I gotta give it to you. That ambition is really something else. She made sure to say it loud enough for Naoyuki to be able to hear it, and made repeated blow after blow. I should have known she had no intention of genuinely celebrating us and still wanted to drag me down. She looked like she still had a lot of jabs to throw at me. But behind her, a line was forming of other attendees who wanted to come congratulate us.
Miss Sumire, I'd like to congratulate you on your wedding day today.
Well, thank you very much. Damn it. Tomoko wasn't able to satisfy her bullying attempt, and she was pushed to the side as people came to her table one by one. On top of that, the security guard had his eyes all over us, so she knew that she couldn't do anything too dramatic. And so the ceremony ended without any troubles. But the real problem began at the after party. And see, that's how I ended up stealing Sumire's boyfriend right from under her nose. You know, that girl was so head over heels for my husband. She was just so angry and went crazy. Both my husband and I were blocked. It was so immature. Tomoko had been drinking quite a lot at the reception, so by the time of the after party, she was completely drunk. I was shocked that she would be telling such stories in front of my new husband on the day of our wedding nonetheless. Honestly, I wanted to cry, and I wanted to disappear from existing. However, Naoyuki quickly stood up and made his way over to Tomoka's seat.
Hi there. Your name is Miss Tomoka, was it? It seems like you've had quite a lot to drink, so I think it might be time for you to call it a night. Would you like for us to call you a taxi?
Naoyuki was trying to kick her out in the most gentlemanly way possible. However... What? How rude. I don't want to leave yet. My husband is on his way too. You know, my husband is very high spec and such a catch. I have to show him off to everyone here. But based on how you look, I bet you're the boom boom money rich spoiled type, aren't you? Even if you take after your family's business, I can tell you're going to drive it straight into the ground. I had reached my limit with her aggressively rude behavior. If this is how she was going to act, then I was ready to force her out with my own 2 hands, and just as I was about to stand up,
I'm so sorry I'm late!
Tatsumo arrived, who had said he would join from the after party due to work. He had walked over to his wife, but when he saw my husband's face standing next to her, he exclaimed,
What? Wait, are you the Mr. Naoyuki? Yes, I am, but I'm very sorry. Can you remind me of where we've met? We've never met in person, but I am of course well aware of who you are. I actually work at one of your father's companies.
That's right. One of the companies that Naoyuki's father owned was also the company that Tatsumo was currently employed by. It seems like the 2 of them weren't aware of this, although I had suspected that they didn't know. I knew about the company's employees, so I guess I was the only one who had realized. Seeing how deeply humbled Tatsumo was, Tomoko must have realized the magnitude of what she had just done. She instantly sobered up and started trying to cover her tracks. But Naoyuki was the first to open his mouth.
I believe this is your wife, and to be honest, we would like to have her removed. She's been spewing insults at both my wife and myself this entire time, and has continued to be terribly rude to us.
With Naoyuki's words, all of the color left Tatsumo's face as he went pale. He turned towards Tomoka and said,
Hey, you do realize that this person is my future boss, right? And in front of a person like this, what have you done?
I didn't say anything that bad. I was just a little drunk and having some fun, that's all. How overdramatic. Tomoka had completely quieted down, and it seemed like she had realized just how much trouble she was in. She did whatever she could to try to recover, but... Hey Tatsumo, would you mind taking a look at how Tomoka was having fun? Someone happened to be recording everything that was happening before you arrived. One of my friends was so irritated by Tomoka's horrendous behavior that she had been recording Tomoka's rant to make sure it was caught on video. When Tatsumo saw the footage...
I am so terribly sorry! On your most important day, as guests at your wedding, I cannot believe what unacceptable manners my wife has shown. Hey, what are you doing? Get your head down too, right now!
I'm sorry, too. The couple both got down on their knees to apologize to us, although there wasn't an ounce of remorse to be seen or felt from Tomoka.
In any case, please leave, now. Miss Tomoka has taken enough time and attention from our special day that we can't get back, and we'd like to get back to our celebration. Yes, we will remove ourselves immediately. I will be certain to show my sincerest apology to you both at a later time.
Tatsumo grabbed Tomoka, who was too shocked to move, and carried her out the door with him.
Everyone, we're so sorry for the disturbance during what should be a fun and celebratory evening. If you all wouldn't mind, we would be so grateful to continue the festivities with you here. The dessert will be prepared shortly, too.
Thanks to Naoyuki's announcement and reassurance, no one mentioned what had just happened, and continued to celebrate with us, showering us newlyweds with their kind words.
Look, about what was said earlier, I just want you to know that it means nothing to me. I love you, Sumire, no matter what your past or history may be. Plus, from what I could tell just from hearing her speak, it's pretty clear that she's the one that should be embarrassed.
Naoyuki.
On top of that, what was his name? Tsutomu? He's just as blind, too. If it were me, and I had the honor of dating a woman like you, I would never look in any other direction.
Naoyuki, I'm so grateful I met you and that I got to marry you. I hope you'll stay by my side forever.
Of course. And I hope you'll be by my side, too. I love you, Sumire.
With Naoyuki's sweet words and warm embrace, I was able to get back on my feet and enjoy the rest of the night. Hey, Sumire, do you have a minute? What do you want? Can you make it quick? Oh, come on, are you still mad? Of course I am. I'm honestly shocked that you would even contact me in the first place. It was just the alcohol talking. I know you can forgive me. It was an incredibly important day for me. You of all people should have known that, didn't you? I'm sure it was. And on that special of a day, you threw all those insults in such a horrific manner. I think it's only natural for me to resent you for it. But I apologized, didn't I? I even got down on my knees on the spot. That was only because Tatsumo forced you to. Either way, it's not like it all just disappears because you apologized. Oh, don't say that. Why can't you just forgive me in good faith? In good faith. Please don't make me laugh. Even if I gave you 100 steps of good faith, what is that going to turn into? I have absolutely no interest in having any sort of relationship with you in the future. Never again. Don't say anything so harsh. I actually had a favor that I wanted to ask you. Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. You've got to be kidding me. But I guess I'll hear what you have to say. Actually, Tatsumo is trying to divorce me. Oh, is that so? Because of what happened at the wedding? Yes. After that, people at work also found out about what happened and rumors have gone around. I'm sure they did. He said I can't be with you anymore and he's trying to leave me. Oh, so I wanted you to talk to Tatsumo for me. I think if you talked to him and persuaded him not to, he would listen. Like I said earlier, I heard what you had to say. Well then, good luck in divorce court. No, wait a minute. Are you just going to leave me hanging like this? Answer the phone, please. Of course, I completely ignored Tomoka's hopeless request. I had already heard about this from Tatsumo himself anyway. After the wedding, he had come to our house to formally apologize, and on top of the celebratory money that he was going to give to us on that day, he added an apology fee in the envelope. At the time, he told us what he was planning as next steps. There were a lot of people from the company and involved with his work at the after-party, so Tomoka's actions spread quickly around the office. As a result, it had put Tatsumo in a bad position. Because of that, Tatsumo felt true and pure anger towards Tomoka and served her the divorce papers himself. Tomoka apparently begged him not to divorce her, and it's become so messy that they're in the throes of divorce court to this day. That was when I received the desperate messages from her, and I was unamused, nor did I have a single care to give.
I am so dumb and blind. I couldn't see a trashy woman like that's true colors until after I had already married her.
Tatsumo.
I may have messed up with my marriage, but I intend on working twice as hard to earn back my reputation and to be a worthy employee of your company. I came today to apologize for the wedding and to declare my intentions to you as well.
Naoyuki had already been impressed by Tatsumo's work ethic, but was even more touched by his honesty and personality. After Tatsumo came to our house to apologize, Naoyuki said he won't treat Tatsumo any differently at work because of what happened, which was a relief for me to hear. In the end, the court decided that her negligence was large, and their divorce successfully went through. Tatsumo contacted me to let me know the results. Since it had only been half a year since their marriage, the division of property was a laughable amount too. Their house was also purchased under Tatsumo's name, so Tomoka was kicked out. She had nowhere to go and was forced back to her parents' house and is living shamefully under their roof. She continued to send me, and also Tatsumo, horrendous messages nonstop. It's all your fault! This happened because you refused to help me and talk to Tatsumo. Everything was going fine until this happened. All these years spent planning for my bright and prosperous future have gone down the toilet thanks to you. You better take responsibility and give me money, you piece of crap of a woman! It was all crazy rants, full of resentment like this. I honestly could have sued her for slander, but I didn't want to have any sort of connection to her anymore. So I quickly changed phones and changed phone numbers so that she can never contact me again. I sent screenshots of these messages to our mutual friends, and of course, not one person took her side. She had no one else to rely on or talk to anymore. She'll probably be alone like this for the rest of her life, spewing resentment at me until the day that she dies. I think it suits her. Because the more she stays like that, the less likely it is that she'll ever find another partner, or any happiness for that matter.